I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome to a little new series that I'm doing. Well, I mean little series. It'll probably be, maybe it's a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm just talking about some movies that were flops, some that were big box office flops, some that were minor flops, or decent sized flops. And sort of ask the question, do they deserve to flop or no? And why not do what many consider to be the biggest flop of all time, including the Guinness Book of World Records said this was the biggest flop of all time, and that would be Cutthroat Island, which I thought it was going to be Adventures of Pluto Nash, but apparently the Guinness Book of World Records actually said that it was Cutthroat Island. Now I'm basically getting the year right. 1995 is when the film came out. Now, I know that Renny Harlin later on, like not too long ago, would talk about how, well, Carolco was already in trouble by the time Carolco Pictures being the guys who released this film, that they were already in trouble before he started making the film, but they had to do it because they already sold the foreign rights and stuff like that. Okay, that's first off, it's kind of hard to imagine that a company would want to do something if they figure, well, shit, you had two choices, Carolco. This film or a film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, directed by Paul Verhoeven, called Crusade. This is 95. You probably thought of it a year before, so 94. Terminator 2 wasn't that long ago. Yeah, the dude did Last Action Hero. But then Arnold did True Lies with James Cameron. That came out in 94. So you have the guy who was in True Lies with James Cameron. And instead of going with Arnold, that was Arnold getting back with James Cameron. So what do? Instead of him going back with Paul Verhoeven, last film they did was Total Recall, you instead go with a fucking pirate movie starring Geena Davis and Matthew Modine. Yeah, bad call, Carolco, bad call. And thus, now you are no more. You went bankrupt. Now, apparently this film cost, with marketing and all that stuff done, around 115, 120 million bucks from what I looked into. Wikipedia says $98 million, but I've heard that, you had a little bit of extra stuff in there. So it's about 115 million bucks. It made about 15, 20 million worldwide. So it was a pretty big fucking flop. Over $100 million they lost, pretty much. Over $100 million. That ain't chump change. And what pisses me off even more, not only do you say, no, let's not do Crusade, there was another film that was going to be made, starring Sylvester Stallone, Kim Basinger, James Belushi. It was a sci-fi horror film where it would take place in the future. Stallone and them would be on a bullet train. There would be a creature. So it was a creature feature. Creature Fest done by Rick Baker. Rick Baker. Making Wolf in London, Rick Baker. Doing creature effects. and Stallone and group dealing with it. Storm going to be directed by Roland Emmerich, who had just done Independence Day was later. Universal Soldier and Stargate. I mean, Universal Soldier, director Universal Soldier, which I enjoy a lot. Working with Stallone, sci-fi horror film, Creature by Rick Baker. But no, they had to shut down. Thank you, fucking... Why did they put all that money into this? Why didn't they concentrate on Stallone, who had done Cliffhanger for them, and Schwarzenegger, who had done True Lies? Why didn't you concentrate on them if you were such a big fucking close to bankruptcy? So for being a dumbass, Carolco, yeah, this film deserved a flop. You made a bad call. As for the film itself, I mean, I like Renny Harlin as a director. Not all of his films, but I like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. I grew up with that movie. Cliffhanger, one of Stallone's best in my opinion. Die Hard 2, fantastic sequel. Deep Blue Sea, I have a lot of fun with that movie, I really do. Adventures of Fort Phelan, I have a lot of fun. The movie he did after this, a year after, which I'm surprised that guy got a job a year after. You made the biggest flop of all time and you got a job a year after? That's pretty amazing. With Geena Davis, and that's The Long Kiss Goodnight, which also didn't do well, but I will say one thing, Long Kiss Goodnight, I do actually like. I'll say right off the bat, I'm not a big fan of this movie. I know I have friends like Mario and Mike, OCP, and Efrey. They enjoy this film. There are fans of this film, be my guest, but I'm not a fan of this movie. I think partially it's because we didn't do Crusade. Fucking, that movie was Stallone, and I remember knowing the name of that. Yeah, I'll figure out what the name was. Isobar. That's what it was. Isobar. Which is that again, that pisses me off. Because I would love to have seen Isobar and Crusade more than Cutthroat Island. But of course, this is the pirate movie that this flopped so badly they didn't want to do pirate movies until Pirates of the Caribbean. I will say I like Pirates of the Caribbean much more than this film. I mean, the plot is you have Geena Davis, who of course was Renny Harlin's wife. And they did Long Kiss Goodnight. Because of those two films, their marriage sort of went kaput. Now, I like Geena Davis. And I liked her more in Long Kiss Goodnight. I liked her in Beetlejuice. But really, this film and Long Kiss Goodnight, both of them flopping, really, Geena Davis kind of killed her career because of that. Because you don't see Geena Davis that much anymore in movies or anything, especially in starring roles, and especially in any kind of action type of movie. I mean, The Fly and Beetlejuice and even Transylvania 65000 I liked her in, for crying out loud. But she didn't do much. Because after this and Long Kiss Goodnight, she did Stuart Little 1, 2, and 3. And then some film called Accidents Happen. Like, Long Kiss Goodnight, she didn't work for 3 years, and then she did Stuart Little. And then Stuart Little 2 and Stuart Little 3. And, TV stuff. So, it really killed her film career. Which sucks too, because I like Geena Davis, and I think she did good stuff, and it sucks that, especially this film, and Long Kiss Goodnight, that's one I can say doesn't deserve to be a flop. I mean, but this one, okay, Geena Davis stars as a pirate, Morgan. You have an opening where this guy she was fucking around with, and the guy knows that she's a pirate, so he puts a gun on her, but she knew that he knew, so he realized he took his ammo out, the balls. He said, "I got your balls." Which, I'll get to that. Long story short, she has her father and her uncles. Her father, there's 3 pieces of this map, the Cutthroat Island, where this treasure is at. And the 3 pieces, her father has one, he gets shot and is dying and asks Geena Davis to, take the map, and the map is on his scalp. So basically, you don't see it because it's PG-13, but scalps her father who's dying. Well, he dies. Be kind of weird to scalp him while he's dying. Wait till I die, bitch! What the fuck you doing? Wait till I die. No, this here's gonna get me paid and laid. It really is. It's fucking map to treasure. It is going to get her paid and laid. She doesn't need that to get laid, but it'll get her paid. Another uncle has a map. Two of her other uncles have a map. One's a decent guy, I guess. The other is the main villain, Frank Langella, whose name is a dog. Dog Brown. Frank Langella, he's fun. I mean, he was Skeletor in Dolph Lundgren's Masters of the Universe. He's fun. He's chewing the scenery up. Like, there's a scene later on where people complain, oh, but we don't have enough food. Then we need less mouths. And shoots the guy. He's definitely chewing the scenery up, but he's fun. But anyway, Geena Davis gets the map, and the map is the guy, her father's scalp, which I don't get. Why is it that she keeps that sometimes down her pants? Why would you keep your father's scalp, map or not, down your pants? Because she pulls it out of her pants. And I'm like, why? You ever heard of a knapsack? You ever heard of a bag? Have you ever heard of, I don't know, anything else than down your pants? Of course, she does have a little cute monkey like you would see in a lot of these pirate films. And she wants to get she has the map and there's Latin on it. They can't read it, so they need someone who can read Latin. So they find out about Matthew Modine, who's a character who's a thief. He's going to be sold into slavery. And I know they wanted Michael Douglas to play this. But I think he had done Disclosure, and he knew he would not have enough time to get in shape, especially with fencing lessons. Also, it was the fact that he didn't think that he wanted his character beefed up a little bit. I think at one time they were going to have Michael Douglas actually be the star, and Geena Davis be more of a co-star. But because Geena Davis is Renny Harlin's wife, whether it was Geena Davis who wanted it or Renny Harlin who wanted it, so that he could keep his poontang, kind of like what Paul Wildstone Anderson does. I know this is mean because I know I have friends who like Resident Evil movies, but come on, yeah, think about it. The characters like Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, they don't get to do shit. You really think about it, they don't get to do shit. Why? Because Paul Wildstone Anderson's poontang pie is dead get in the way of Alice. Oh, you don't do something cool? Sorry. What the fuck? I gotta do something cool because my name's Alice. I'm fucking the director. That does happen. So Geena Davis is like, well, I want my part beefed up and let her be more of the star, and that's what happened. I mean, you do have 4 people, story by 4 people, so you knew there had to be some tinkering with the script. And I don't blame Michael Douglas for not doing it because the character doesn't really get to do much, Matthew Modine's character. I mean, he's a thief. She buys him. Then you have this long chase scene where they have this guy on a horse and buggy. They knock him off, and they're being chased. And you have a pirate ship on the shore shooting at them. And granted, I do film this. It has great big sets, explosions, and nice practical stunt work. And a good score by John Debney. That, to me, is really the only thing this film has going for it. And, the fact that they built all this stuff from scratch, like all these big sets and all these big pirate ships, and even, like someone said, even to the shoelaces had to be built from scratch. I'm like, are you really going that far into it? This doesn't work. It really doesn't work. I mean, again, the sets and everything looks nice. Especially when you're just going to blow the shit out of them up. But, I mean, you have this horse and buggy, people are chasing them. Also, they've been shot at by this ship from the Army, Navy, whatever, shooting them from the sea. Although one thing that's kind of weird, a few things. Dude, they're being chased and they're both on the buggy and the horse is pulling them. One thing. Why does everything fucking explode? I usually don't pick on this, but it was fucking weird. Everything was exploding. Now, cannonballs, that's what I thought back in these days. It's 1668. It was cannonballs, right? Even in the beginning, when he had the guy's ammo, it was little balls. When you're shooting, doesn't just go through, boom. Why does, and it's cannonballs. Did they stuff the cannonball with dynamite? Like, did they literally, open and put fucking dynamite? Or did he shoot it? Boom. Now, maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know much about cannonballs, so it could be it. And they do that in a lot of movies, I'm sure. They probably do in the Pirates of the Caribbean. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's kind of weird. I mean, maybe it's someone who knows more about the ammunition back in the day, but, everything's blowing up. And it got to a point where the action scenes, I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm usually for the opposite. Like, let the action scene go as long as possible. There were times these action scenes actually went too long and got kind of boring. And there's shit that didn't make sense. Like, this one, now the ammo thing I could be wrong about, but it was kind of where, every time it's a boom. It's like, let this blow up for no reason. But this one, really, I didn't understand this shit. Okay, so just a point where she's staying up fighting a guy, and she's now, instead of ducking, she had to go through a window. Now, the horse and buggy with Matthew Modine is going full force. Full force. Now, on top, see, this is going full force. Say this is going full force. Now, she is up top here, because she had to jump. Now, explain this to me. This is going full force, boom, 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 boom. Now, as Geena Davis is, trying to move, sorry, she trips, she's, getting out of here, excuse me, stumbling, walking, waddling, trying to get through this mess. And yet she still makes it to the end before the fucking buggy. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? Now, great, I know, you just say a lot, Die Hard and all that stuff. But this, just bugged me. I think because if you don't care about your leads, and if you don't care about a lot of other stuff, those things fixate on you. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, what the fuck is that about? How the hell did she reach it before the buggy? And I'm like, that's bullshit. So they get in, and Geena Davis, her character, has a habit of sticking knives or near people's crotches or pulling fucking scalps out of her crotch. And Matthew Modine translates the Latin, goes with her. One thing at least to know, they had to find the other two pieces of the map. One is with her non-evil uncle, I guess. But Frank Langella's there. So you get a point where Matthew Modine gets this thing that makes this guy, he doesn't notice the gunpowder falling off and walks away. Stupid fucking shit where Frank Langella tries to scare Geena Davis with a fucking eel. That, I swear to God, I've seen Roger Corman shit that look better than this fucking eel. It's practical, but you have $115 million budget. $100 million budget. I saw Roger Corman shit that looks better than this fucking eel. It's just a little ridiculous, hey, he's like, I got eel for you. It's scarier than the shit you have on screen. You don't want to see it. It's got one eye and it'll poke you out. It's gold-plated. But, I mean, come on, how can you... It looks so stupid and silly and ridiculous. So, of course, Matthew Modine throws the candle, and you have a long, drawn-out fight scene. Geena Davis, I like Geena Davis. I just did not... I think this role did not fit her. Long Kiss Goodnight, I liked. I thought she fit well in that role in Long Kiss Goodnight. The Fly she fits in. Beetlejuice she fits in. This, it really didn't. I didn't admire her dialogue delivery. Granted, I know she had to talk like a pirate. But when she's saying lines like, I will leave you marooned on a place as big as this table. And that's generous, because otherwise I would have splattered your brains outside your head, or something like that. I just don't buy the delivery. It was kind of like that kind of off delivery. I can't explain it without showing a clip, and I'm sure they fuck me over if I show clips. Even though the film flopped, I'm sure they would. I just didn't buy that delivery. And she does decent in some of the action sequences. Again, but again, I don't know, her character is, I mean, it's better than shit like in Elektra. You know, Jennifer Garner and Elektra. But at the same time, I can't really say I loved it or liked it that much. Just her dialogue delivery wasn't that good. And, you know, her character wasn't really that interesting. And I did some decent action. But he has some comedy that doesn't work, like Matthew Modine talking about, oh, I used to fence. Oh, stop playing around and kill him. But we never learned that, and she bumps him, and he stabs the guy. Like, oh, that's how it's done, or something like that. The comedy didn't work. It wasn't really that funny. They try to have banter with each other, Geena Davis, Matthew Modine. It doesn't work. They don't have any chemistry. You don't buy them falling in love. It would have been better with Michael Douglas, because, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Matthew Modine. Is he terrible in this film, Matthew Modine? No. But at the same time, it's not like, oh shit, alright, it's Matthew Modine, it's Matty Modine. I'll give him credit for Full Metal Jacket. That's pretty much it. Other than that, Matthew Modine is not really a name guy. He's also not really like a guy I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah, it's Matthew Modine. I didn't really give two shits about his character. Like, he was okay, but at the same time, again, he sometimes was off, and I did not like the banter he had with Geena Davis. It just wasn't funny. And I didn't buy him falling in love, and I don't buy their chemistry. I don't know how else to explain it. And of course, you know, a chandelier falls to the fucking ground, and that makes the whole place explode. In all fairness, it falls, and I almost saw like there was like a barrel. So it fell. It looked like it fell on the fucking table, but I guess there was a barrel that fell, and it crushed the barrel, and that made the whole fucking place explode. So I guess when chandeliers fall on a barrel, maybe maybe it had gunpowder there. But I guess if a chandelier falls on that, it'll make it explode. So sue me. Oh well. So they leave. And basically, they're looking for the ship because now they have two pieces, and there's a big storm. They're being fucked over from the storm. Some of her crew mutiny against her, so they kick some of them off. Geena Davis, Matthew Modine jumps over. Her other crew members are kicked off. They're with Geena Davis. You have Stan Shaw. Stan Shaw's been in quite a few films. I know he was in Daylight. He was in Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage. He was in Harlem Nights. He was Will Palmer and Roots: The Next Generation. He's been in a lot of films. So, I like Stan Shaw. And you also had Rex Lynn. He was the guy in Cliffhanger who said to Quaylen, "You're Section 8, Quaylen. You're a fucking Section 8. You know, adios, motherfucker." He was fun in that film. Here, I mean, him and Stan Shaw, they don't have much to do, but they're there. So they find the island, and long story short, but it's always fucking long, Frank Langella comes by, and the crew that kicked him out, Geena Davis and them, joined with Frank Langella. And then later on, you find out that Frank Langella is actually working with the Army or Navy, whatever the fuck, the British, or whatever the fuck they were. I'm like, really? When the fuck did that happen? But whatever. I guess so. And Matthew Modine stole from Frank Langella, so he has the final piece of the map, and they join together, and they find the treasure. But then Matthew Modine gets captured because, again, the British or whatever the fuck army is with Frank Langella. Geena Davis goes to the ship, frees her crew, and then you basically have about a 15 or so minute pirate battle. Now, that was fine. That 15-minute pirate battle, one ship here, one ship there, blowing shit out of each other with cannons. It's all practical, no CGI. Which is, I mean, the money's on the screen. I can say that. Blowing the shit out of the ships. Practical explosions, practical stunt work. You can see that the actors, Geena Davis and Matthew Modine, are doing some of their own stuff. Nice swings and stuff. I appreciate that. So you have some fun action. The first two action scenes, with the buddy, it was okay, but it's shit that didn't make sense to me. The one where that ends with the chandelier falling down, it was okay, but nothing like that. The one scene I would give credit is that scene, because it was a pretty awesome scene. 10-15 minutes of just pirates fucking each other up, PG-13 style, but one after the other. Even though, again, Matthew Modine doesn't have much to do, and I can see why Michael Douglas said no. Not only because he didn't have enough time to train and stuff, but, Matthew Modine, like, the character didn't really have much to do. Like, he's about ready to be hung, he's saved, and he, like, runs and fights one or two guys, then gets down to the treasure and gets trapped and has to be saved by Geena Davis. Like, the guy has to be saved, like, dozens of times. Well, I guess that's the point, because it's something different, but still, it's like, didn't really care for that. Not trying to be sexist on that either. But that 15-so-minute battle, pretty cool. Lots of practical explosions and nice stunt work. I give credit to that. Killing Frank Langella, the way it's done, I'm kind of 50-50 on, because it's kind of cool because Geena Davis pulls a cover off and she has a cannon. She has a shitty line, "Bad dog." I didn't like the line. I did not like her delivery. I'm sorry. I thought it sucked ass. Shoots the cannonball, hits him. I'm like, oh my god, one fucking time nothing explodes, because it's PG-13. You can't have the guy explode. Just pushes him out, which I did. I thought that's what cannonballs do, but whatever the fuck. Through the ship. Her and Matthew Modine jump off the ship. Great explosion of blowing up the pirate ship. Great job. And then, they have the treasure in the end of the movie. And now the film itself, I'll give credit again to the stunt work. They built the sets, the pirate ships. But I'm thinking, did you really have to build all this from scratch? I think I heard one time that Renny Harlin didn't like the design of the shit he built. So they demolished it and rebuilt the whole fucking thing. Like, they were carte blanche with the money, and like, why were you doing that? This film did not need to be made for $115 million. I really believe that. And after this, they didn't do much pirate stuff after that. I know there's some fans that are saying it was ahead of its time. And yeah, I give credit to the stunts, the sets, the music. And the other two set pieces, action set pieces, they were okay, but I don't know, not the best. Either the banter between the folks weren't that good, or stuff like that. I would give credit. The one action set piece I would give credit to is when the pirate ship fucking up and pirates, fighting each other, going from one to the other. Great stunt work by Geena Davis and Matthew Modine and company. I give credit to that. But the pace is sluggish. The film is about 2 hours long. It felt long. It felt like there was stuff you could have cut out. It felt like some scenes were going on too fucking long for their own good. Even the two action set pieces, I'm like, okay, can we end this already? And I'm usually not like that with action scenes, but it wasn't the case with this. And just Geena Davis and Matthew Modine did not have chemistry with each other. Their banter were not that funny. I didn't buy them falling in love. The humor did not work. It just was not funny. It sucked ass. Matthew Modine, I'm just not the I don't hate Matthew Modine. It's just I don't give a fuck about Matthew Modine. You know, it's like you really want to try to sell this movie on Matthew Modine's name? $115 million, $100 million budget film. You don't put Matthew Modine's name on the marquee and go, oh, see it from Matthew Modine. And Geena Davis. It's like, she wasn't really a big star. I mean, she had The Fly, but then other films like Speechless and the others didn't do that well either. And again, maybe she could work. She did work in The Long Kiss Goodnight. Here, though, trying to talk like a pirate and some of her dialogue felt stilted and just did not work for me. So Geena Davis and Matthew Modine really were not the best choices for the leads. They really weren't. Don't ask me who I would choose. I like Geena Davis as an actress, just this part did not fit her well. You want to see her in a good action film? Long Kiss Goodnight I thought was much better. Her and Samuel L. Jackson, they had better chemistry. They had better banter. The action scenes worked better. The pace was much more tighter. Again, if I just compare this to the film after, that film, again, the pace was tighter. The action was fast and furious, and Geena Davis really delivered the lines with much more fluidity. Shit that again that didn't make sense, like that fucking eel. Like Frank Langella joining the army, having the army there, like why? I'm sure they said it, but I'm like, why the fuck would they be working with the army? Why the fuck would they need their help? Like Frank Langella need their help. I don't get that. I think someone else said it best. Well, why the fuck would the army want this treasure? Because the treasure is kind of weird. Now after seeing films later like National Treasure and stuff, like the treasure doesn't seem like much when you see like all these other films with these massive treasures. Like, you guys probably got more money than this shit. But I don't get why Frank Langella will work with them when he'd have to split the shit up. Like, he seemed to be doing well on his own. Like, follow Geena Davis and then, just take the shit. But whatever. Well, like Frank Langella and his goons would not just fuck up the Army and Navy folks, but whatever. But the pace was just sluggish and slow at times. Didn't care. The two leads, they didn't have chemistry with each other, and they weren't really that funny, and maybe they could cut at least some time off from that as well. The film didn't work for me. I mean, I think, in my opinion, it did deserve to flop. It's not one of the worst films I've ever seen. It would not be my top 10, top 20, or even top 50. But the first part is the Caribbean film. I haven't seen the sequels in forever, so I don't remember them. And I haven't seen the fourth one. But the first part is the Caribbean film. I enjoyed much more. That film, Johnny Depp's character really worked for that film. Just an enjoyable character to watch. The humor worked better in that film to me. The film became more interesting, maybe because it had a supernatural angle, so the film became more interesting. It seemed like the pace was better. It still had good action. Granted, more CGI, but it just goes to show, just because you don't have CGI, all the time doesn't automatically make you okay, it's a good film just because of that. And they also had good music in that film, too. Just this film, Cutthroat Island, not a big fan of it. It's the second time I've watched this. I watched it once a long time ago. And, the cast doesn't work for me. I mean, Frank Langella's chewing the scenery so fucking much. Any man else going to shit the scene out of his ass. That's how much he's chewing the damn scenery. But it's still fun to watch. I will admit, it's fun to watch. But again, Geena Davis, Matthew Modine, he just doesn't work for me. Geena Davis, you've done better. You will do better in Long Kiss Goodnight. Just not for this film. Just her delivery of these lines just didn't work. Chemistry didn't work between them. Again, there was certain shit that didn't make sense if you put your brain to it. But that's a lot of action films. But it was just sluggish at times. Got boring at times. But if you want to see it, see the ending with the 10-15 minute pirates ships blowing the shit out of each other side by side, good stunt work and stuff. The rest of the movie, yeah. You just like, was this really worth, the destruction of Carolco? No. At $100-some-million budget to make it the biggest box office film of its time, which I'm sure Carolco Pictures probably couldn't afford decent marketing, even though the trailer teasers look nice, but the poster looks nice. But yeah, the movie just, doesn't work for me. I definitely a step down from Renny Harlin stuff like Cliffhanger. I mean, you look at Cliffhanger and you look at this film. You look at Die Hard 2, then you look at this film. It just doesn't compare. So yeah, in other words, it did deserve the bomb. Carolco Pictures, you deserve to go bankrupt for being stupid. Instead of Stallone in a sci-fi horror film with Isobar, Rick Baker, Roland Emmerich, and Crusade with Arnold and Paul Verhoeven, let's put a lot of focus on this fucking movie. You just should have not even mentioned the movie if you're in that deep trouble and go, let's focus on this shit, Stallone and Schwarzenegger. You know. That instead of Geena Davis and we hope Michael Douglas and yeah, Matthew Modine. I'm sure there are other names floated, but still, just anyway. It did deserve the bomb in my opinion. But just that time was just too boring and story really didn't do much for me. The characters didn't do much for me. But that's just me. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you next time on Did This Film Deserve the Flop or Not? And, but yeah, this film did a lot of damage. Pirate films didn't get made until Pirates of the Caribbean. Geena Davis, she really didn't go on to do much after Long Kiss Goodnight, and, her and Renny Harlin, their marriage just go... It's sad, but, it's how it goes. I mean, this film fucked this movie. Because it fucked up Geena Davis' career. Renny Harlin, well enough, still got jobs, though. But Geena Davis, I like as an actress. It fucked up her career, even though I like The Long Kiss Goodnight. This film definitely fucked up her career. It fucked up Isobar. It fucked up Crusade. It fucked up Carolco Pictures, which made a lot of good films. For a really, at best, fucking mediocre pirate film. Has some good spectacle at the end. But not much else to it than that. You should have made a 20-minute fucking thing of just the pirate fight. Ship against ship. So, yeah. That fucking sucks. So, anyway. That's Cutthroat Island. Thanks for watching the long-ass review. And take care. Later. Sorry. It deserved a flop. So, fuck it.